Alright. Hey guys, Stitches here, and Switch 2 is finally here. Yay. Or as you probably saw in one of my posts, um, my Switch 2 is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. If you don't know what that's a reference to, it's a Metroid reference. Basically, I believe it's at the end of Metroid 2 and beginning of Super Metroid, where Samus says the last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. But anyway, so I apologize if I look sweaty in this video. I did yard work from about 8:30 in the morning to like 10:30 in the morning. And I haven't showered yet. All I did was wash my hands. So, yeah, so this is the Switch 2. It's all here. This is specifically a bundle from Gamestop. I don't fully remember the name of the thing. I wonder if I could pull it up on my phone. Okay, sorry about the cut. When I went to go look it up on my phone, the footage cut out. So, this bundle was called the Ultimate Race Bundle, from GameStop. And in case you're wondering, yes, I know I have said in videos that, oh, I was going to get mine through Nintendo, and I'm going to talk about that because that's part of the story here. So, I guess we'll start with that. Ooh, excuse me. I'm going to go over the camera for a second so I can grab some water from the floor. I bet it's got microorganisms in it. I don't know how long that water's been there. Anyway, it's besides the point. You may have remembered that I registered to pre-order my system through Nintendo. Well, Nintendo basically said that because of the number of applicants, they kind of backpedaled a bit and said, well, you wouldn't get a pre-order, but you were guaranteed to get a notification and order the Switch on an invite basis. Alright, cool. We're cool, right? So I registered for that. Didn't register for any of the other pre-orders because I'm like, oh, it's Nintendo. Nintendo's not going to fuck it up. Because I've had really good console getting experience with Nintendo. Albeit I've never bought a console this close to launch. Within launch month, I've never obtained a system. So, I've been waiting for that email since I think they said May 8th was when when they would go out. I've never gotten it. I even checked before this video. Still haven't received the email at all. So, I ended up pretty much just was like, I'll wait and see if it comes. Well, my dad showed me this stock tracker, and I didn't realize it, but the stock tracker lets you put in your email address, so it'll give you like a ping in your email to let you know that, hey, a website has these available. And I didn't notice that one had that, so he actually had one for GameStop, and it was this bundle, which some people weren't buying because, you know, they don't necessarily need all this junk that comes with it. Because, you know, this is the console, the game, and then like 3 accessories, which one of them isn't necessary. It's just a nice thing to have. I mean, that's like the thing, is all of these aren't necessary. I mean, this basically comes in bundled in, but it's not. This is a charging grip, not just the regular grip. But I was pretty much like, yeah, we should order it, and so we ordered it, and it was like $100 more than what I wanted to pay. But I got it. So now I have the Joy-Con wheels, the charging grip, and the 256 gig micro SD Express, which if you don't know, that matches the internal storage of the Switch 2. Anyways, that's my story with that. I'm still kind of pissed that Nintendo never emailed me, but I'm still paying this off too. Like right now, after the purchase, I only had like $36 left in my account, and that's like until the end of this week. Well, not the end of this week. It's a Thursday right now. I guess I don't know. It's 26th, so until like the 30th, I won't have a whole lot of money, and even then, at the end of the month, I'll owe my dad like $200 for stuff because he ordered it like for me. That's how I was able to do it. So he ordered it for me because he just had it pulled up, and you know we had to jump at the drop of a pin. So without further ado, I guess we'll get into it. I'll start with the main system itself. I did open the system just to check to make sure it wasn't cracked or anything. So, and it isn't, it's not cracked. I am recording this the same way I've recorded my Beyblade videos in the past. I guess you could see off camera. You can see down there, where I put the accessories. But now we get into the Switch 2 system itself. So first off, we have the box art. It's pretty similar to the Switch 1. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab my Switch 1 box really quick to get that. I just gotta move all these Beyblade boxes that are like collector's boxes. Except for like the collector's box I have. They're just like the Project Crossover Beyblade boxes. So it's the one for Lightning El Drago, and then the ones for Drasil S, Dronzer S, and Drager S. And my copy of Rechain of Memories. And my Skyward Sword Joy-Con box. And not even mine, but my brother's 2DS box for Mario Kart, the Mario Kart 7 bundle. And it's right on top of my Wii U box. So my my first Switch box, it's pretty dusty, and it's also been in a garage for a little bit, so it may be off colored. But so if we compare it to the Switch 1 box, it's a lot smaller. Keep in mind, this is not the Switch OLED box. I never got the Switch OLED because it wasn't an upgrade I deemed necessary. I don't remember if this has an OLED screen or if it's just regular LEDs. I know a lot of people were saying like it was gonna have an OLED screen, but then it wasn't, so who knows, maybe they couldn't do it with cost. Because I know like a lot of people were surprised that the system got so expensive at like $500 for just what you see there on the table. Like the Switch 2 is $500. So, and that's just to get a game with it. Like, to get anything else with it, it's gonna be more. But I mean, the Switch 1 didn't have a pack-in title either, so it just had a lot of easy access titles. But you can see the box is quite long for the Switch 1. For But the Switch 2 box is actually like a couple millimeters thicker. Because they compressed everything so tight. So there you can like see that. You can see they kind of went with the same idea, showing it in the dock behind the controller, but this time they show that the controllers they snap on rather than slide on. The top of the box for the Switch 1 just says Nintendo. It's the same for the Switch 2. The back features the systems. Here it features the Joy-Con sliding on and off. And keep in mind, this is like a launch year Switch. Switch 2 system. Or the launch year Switch 1 system, rather. Interestingly, with the Switch 1, they kind of like centered the picture, so when they printed the logo on it, it was like it was on the screen. On the Switch 2, it actually seems like they went with the same like screen graphic for it, but instead they show it being pulled. They show it in action with the dock, kind of showing, hey, this goes from a this goes from docked mode to a handheld mode, which they were kind of doing here, like they were showing it being slid into the dock. For the side, Switch 1 has like all these cool shots of it in different places. That fell. Switch 2 has it being shown in tabletop mode with single Joy-Cons being played by 2 people. The other side of the Switch 2 box just shows it being played in handheld mode, and then the bottom of the box has a list of things on it. I'm covering my serial number because I don't know if that's going to like cause any problems. So, yeah. See, the other Switch 1 side shows a similar image with it being, in tabletop with the 2 Joy-Cons sideways, but, they really went creative with this one. This one's more minimalist. Which, that's another thing I wanted to point out, was the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are kind of a fusion of the 2 starting Joy-Con options for the Switch 1. Which used, this red and blue here, but instead of having full body colors, they just went with minimizing the colors on the left and right, which has led some people to believe they're not going to do recolors for it. Some people kind of said that it sucks that we're kind of out of that era of console customization. By the way, if my voice is a little quieter or I'm a little loud, it's because I'm facing away from the camera. I'm restacking my nonsense up here. But, I definitely feel that, like, console customization, especially, like, with this, Nintendo's kind of gotten to know their fan base a little more, in the sense that they know where did I have these? They know that sorry. They know that a lot of people aren't actually playing the Switch in handheld mode. So I think they kind of went for more of like a minimalist look. I also think they're kind of trying to make it look similar to the Steam Deck, because a lot of people liked how the Steam Deck had a more premium feel to it. Another thing I have to say about this before I crack it open, or rather start looking at the stuff in the box, is that the cardboard has kind of like a weird matte feel to it that I'm not like super fond of. Well, I don't hate it, but it's just like a weird feeling. Anyways, I'm now going to read where, or rather, I'm going to read what resides in the box. So you get the Nintendo Switch 2 console, Joy-Con 2L, Joy-Con 2R, Nintendo Switch 2 AC adapter, and USB-C charging cable, a Nintendo Switch 2 dock, a Joy-Con 2 grip, not a charging grip, just a regular grip, Joy-Con 2 strap ×2, an ultra high-speed HDMI cable, and that's it. So those 9 things. I suppose technically 10 things if you count the straps as separate things. So, yeah. The thing that that was kind of advertised with this, interestingly, is that it's gonna use a charger block versus an AC adapter. So, like, it's gonna use a charger like what you would use for your phone. So, I just thought that was interesting. From what I've been told, this is going to require a system update no matter what you do to register it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get this baby open, and you can see it's just kind of in there. No protection. This is another talking point. There were a lot of people who had their Switch 2s get destroyed because some places were like stapling right here, and yeah, half of this is just the system. Like edge to edge, it's the screen, so it's like it's very minimalized protection, which is kind of like fucking crazy that they would have that much of an oversight. I think even the Switch 1 had like this whole foam, but they wanted to do a chest box where you open it and it's there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the console out first. See on the sides, I think I have it upside down. On the sides you have, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like red in there, then blue in here to show the positive and negative side. We'll slowly, gently pull it out. Ooh, and that screen is slick. There is a screen protector on here that I am not supposed to pull off. It doesn't even look like there's anything on there, but some people were saying that they were, peeling their thing off like dummies. We'll just set that down there. Here we have the negative Joy-Con, or the Joy-Con L. And first off, it's got a very matte feel. And everything is so much bigger than I thought it would be. But it kind of keeps everything I liked about the Joy-Con 1, just on a first glance. So, one of my big things I liked about the Joy-Con 1 is I actually like this separate D-pad. They first did this on the N64 with the C-pad, the C buttons, but I like this. And it also is like that just so that way when you turn it sideways, you can use this. And that's why a lot of games will actually use just directional glyphs instead of like A and B. We look at the side, kind of looks like you could put an SD card in there, but don't do that. We got the like IR sensor for the mouse features. We have this trigger on the back, which pushes this because of the new locking mechanism. Instead of sliding, this like snaps in. So I think I'm actually going to bring it a little closer so you guys can see it a little better. There we go. So like there you can see I'm pressing this trigger back here, which you know, has this little release thing, which is supposed to give you more mechanical force to peel it off the system. But it's got a really nice matte texture. The trigger and bumper are put like really nicely together. Like there's no divider anymore. It's just this is more raised than that. So some people will like that, some people won't. It's a bunch of stuff with the tech warnings and nonsense. These buttons are actually like metal, so that way, because they're used in the locking mechanism. And then focus. This is a this is like the receptacle that tells it it's linked, and then there's this button here which would get it going, like, you know, it would get it start to sync. Now we have the positive Joy-Con, which I'll just bring up close. Pretty much all the same stuff, but, you know, A, B. You know, it has the Abixi pattern, as I like to call it. ABXY, Abixi. It's got a positive button or a plus button. I didn't actually comment on the joysticks, but they do feel nice. This thing under here is like a rubbery texture. One thing people were upset about is like this doesn't use Hall effect joysticks, but this actually can't because of the magnetic locking mechanism. There is another type of joystick they could have used that's a little more reliable, but they didn't. So anyway, there's a home button in the new, C button or communications button, which will let you access your Xbox Live, Switch Live, Nintendo Switch Online. I'm making a joke. There's this thing here, which I'm not really sure what this pad is down here. I'm assuming it's just supposed to help elevate the thing off the table when you do mouse stuff. It's also got metal trigger buttons, a sensor, a sync button, and a little receptacle there. People are still probably going to be annoyed because this is in the center. I know some people didn't like using this Joy-Con because it was centered. Some people were saying the Switch 2 was going to like have slidable things where you could like adjust it to go up and down, and I was just like, yeah, that's not happening, bud. It's too much engineering. Anyways, we'll now peel the system up, or peel this up. There's something in the back here. So if I open this, it looks like it might just be manual. Oh. And my ultra high speed HDMI cable. It's an HDMI cable, we're not looking too closely at that. But here we have the Joy-Con straps, and this time they're actually quite different. They're quite different. They're more like hollow hoops, and they're actually color-coded, but you can mix-match them. So if I go ahead and pull these out real quick, you can see this one's like a pinkish color. It's supposed to go with the positive Joy-Con. So what you do is you just put it on, and it snaps on. And yeah, that really is on there. And then if you want it off, you just press the trigger on the back and it pops off. This is also supposed to provide even better support for the mouse functions. So, you know, it provides like a flatter surface. As for how this feels like as a mouse, really quick, like, it's like, it's a little like thin. Like, instead of using it like I would a normal mouse with like both my index and regular finger, I would like just use my index finger and like rest it here. But I can like, I get it. Like, I understand it. It's just very weird that they're like, let's try to emulate a PC feel. So, there's also a blue one here. So, you know, I can go ahead and snap the blue one onto the negative Joy-Con. So, you know, see, it goes there. I think you can also, you can swap these. So, if you want blue on your red, you get that. That's actually kind of cool looking. And if you want red on your blue, you can't have it. I'm just kidding. You can do that. I have the Joy-Con upside down. That's why. So there we go. Go ahead and take those off, though, for the time being. We also got the health and safety guidelines on top of the that and these and the HDMI cable, the safety straps and the HDMI cable. So, yeah. We get in here. This is the grip. It's kind of different from the Switch 1 grip. Bigger for one, at least here it's bigger. A little more sleek. We've got like this really shiny plastic there, but like this is all matte. It also says Nintendo Switch 2 a lot bigger. Well, it says 2 and then it just says Nintendo Switch, so but it's a lot bigger. So, you know, if you want to put it in, ooh, that actually has magnets in it, so you know, you just kind of let it find its way and it pops in, and you're really, from what I've heard, you really can't like get these off easily without like feeling like you're gonna break it. So, oh, that release button's nice, like very nice, very premium. This is actually heavy. This feels like the weight of like an Xbox controller. I wasn't expecting so much weight, but I think because of that magnet-based tech, they had to put a little more weight into it. So that's pretty nice having it like that. I'm just gonna leave those in there for the time being. I guess we'll go for the AC adapter next. This is what I was talking about. So like if I shake this out of here, this is the AC adapter. Oh, is this a C to C? That's fucking weird. That's really weird. Be warned, it's a C to C, so you can't just use anything. You have to use a C to C cable. Oh well. This is a pretty hefty brick. What's the rate on this? Does it tell me? 100 to 240 volts, approximately 50, 60 hertz, 1.6 amps. From what I've been told as well, you cannot use your Switch 1 charging cable for the Switch 2 dock. It won't run at the right capacity. So it will give you a warning about that. And then this is just a C to C cable that says Nintendo on both ends. So. But lastly, we have the last thing in the main box being the dock. And the dock is bulkier because there's actual tech inside that helps the Switch run better. So here's the front, side, and back. It's kind of rounded on the back. Definitely feels a lot less like a piece of shit like the other one. This feels like an internet router. The bottom's also perforated, so it's got holes for fanning, and there's also a fan inside now. You can take this back door off. The whole thing just comes off. It's a plate now versus a hinge, which I do like. So if you want to just leave it open, do that. It's got a LAN cable this time, so you can use Ethernet with it. It's got HDMI out and an AC adapter. Tons of fans. They really wanted to keep this thing cool. Let's see. This device complies with Part 15 of the FCC rules. It's BA. I just noticed that in there. It just says BA as a part of the thing. But, yeah, so that's like kind of everything in the main Switch 2 thing. So I guess now, before I move on to the accessories, I will be showing you guys everything else. Well, I'll be showing you guys with this more stuff with the actual console. So here we have the Switch 2. I'm going to go ahead and put the Joy-Cons on it. I don't believe it's going to have any power. There we go. And then that sound is really nice. They made the sound analog this time versus have to play digitally. Looking at the... I'll bring the system up close so we can get a closer look at it, like I did with the Joy-Cons. So here's the system. Big screen. Can I get some focus? Got power, volume, some weird dot. Fans. USB-C and... Come on. Aux jack and a game card. On the back of this, I'll show something neat with the back of the system. We got a bigger vent. Come on. Bigger vents. Come on. Focus, you twat. Can I even say that? Can I say twat? Like, one, being an American, can I say that? But two, can I even say that on YouTube? Anyway, there's the USB-C. There's actually a USB-C on both the top and bottom. Which was a big thing this time because you'll need 2 USB-C ports to use the camera. You'll need a USB-C port to use the camera, but also... I don't have the camera, by the way. I was surprised this didn't even come with the camera. Anyways, one thing I wanted to show is I can take this Joy-Con negative here and put it on backwards. You can put the Joy-Cons on backwards, which is really funny. And you can put them on upside down if you want to. They're omnidirectional, meaning that they work in all manner of ways. Anyway, so here's the back. And here is the new kickstand. Ooh, that takes a little force to get it out. Metal kickstand, too. And really sturdy. I don't feel like I'm breaking that. My other one would, like, pop off. Oh, and there's the micro SD express slot. Is right in there. This only works with micro SD express cards kind of a big thing with this system is they wanted to up the speed as much as possible. And they say that to do that, they need to get rid of regular micro SD cards and purely focus on optimizing for Express. How do I feel about that? That I don't. It's a thing. People are just mad because they have to buy new SD cards, and I'm just like, I mean, yeah, you should buy a new SD card anyway. Your old one's probably gonna crap the bed soon. I thought one of my straps was already cracked, and I'm like, what? It was a hair on it. But, anyways, I'm gonna clear off the table real quick. I should point out that while the Joy-Cons are omnidirectional, there is kind of a weird thing with the beveling where here there's a sharp corner, so they don't match up fully. Anyway, I will need the Joy-Cons for the next 2 products. I will just need the system and stuff for the next 2 products, so everything else is going off screen on the floor somewhere, including the health and safety manual because I don't read those. I once was, so like when I was little, I got a DSi, and I once was so autistic that I like tried to bring the DSi manual to school. To read during reading time. I'd rather read operations manuals versus and like the thing with the DSi things is they weren't just like books. They were those huge like fold out things. So the teacher was immediately like, nope, none of that. Additionally, they were like, you have to read novels. Like you have to read something with storytelling. And I'm just like, man, y'all are lame. I want to read stories. I was also so autistic, I made my entire family come over so I could read to them. And I read the operations manual for the DSi, so yeah. Pretty autistic. Not news to you guys. I guess we'll keep everything else in the background. That's still that piece of plastic that's like a piece of my Beyblade. One of my Beyblades that it's like a piece of the tip of one. I guess I'll keep those down there. So the first thing I'm gonna look at, I guess we'll just start with this one because it's so similar. We have the Joy-Con grip, charging grip. I'm gonna need my knife for this. I never had the Switch 1 charging grip, so this is kind of new territory for me, but also kind of not because the grips are pretty much identical, except this one has translucent plastic to make it different. That is something that people kind of don't like, is that, by the way, you have an adult if you're going to use knives. You shouldn't be a kid watching my video, but if you are, be safe with knives. The Switch 1 charging grip I never had because I just never bought accessories for my Switch other than replacement Joy-Cons because they were all pretty damn expensive. Could be more of that shit. Tell you what. So you just open the box from the top, and it's probably just gonna be sitting in there with a USB-C cable to charge it with. And then you have the charging grip. Oh, that's more of a gray than I thought. You know, here you have these charging grips. The plastic is white on the inside for this one, which I think is interesting. It's not color-coded like the other one. Additionally, this one also has buttons on the back called GR and GL, which I think are mappable buttons. So, you know, this is actually, there is a little more value here. Again, though, this is meant to be a chargeable grip, so you can charge your Joy-Cons while playing. You know, so you can effectively use them as a wired controller. So, you know, they also snap in here, so, you know, you can just kind of do that. They also removed, like, this part is, like, kind of flat on both of the controllers, which, like, isn't too weird. I think because of how bulky the pad is, it's just, like, it works. Additionally, that kind of, like, gives me more support for, like, the ball of my palm. So, charging grip. Next up, I have the Joy-Con 2 wheels. This came in the bundle as well. These are basically pieces of fucking useless garbage. I'm just kidding. Only kind of kidding. This was a trend they started with the Wii, where they released a bunch of plastic attachments for different games. They released a steering wheel for Mario Kart that uses the motion controls, and you can turn it to, you can actually steer with motion. I don't really like playing that way. But, you know, to each their own. I just got this because, again, I pretty much clutch bought the bundle. But these are interesting. We'll go for the blue one first. Oh, that's like textured. They gave it like a faux leather texture to it. I mean, it's still plastic, but like, that's cool. And then there's, you can press the SR and SL buttons on the back. It says Nintendo Switch 2. And these also work with both controllers. They're designed to fit both. So that's actually nice. They're just different colors. They're obviously themed after the positive and negative ones, but if I put the red one in here, it's not going to cause a problem. So, you know, you could do that. How do I eject now? You just peel it up. The magnets must not be as strong in this one as they are in the other. And then, like, you can do it with this one as well. And then I imagine it works the exact same for the red one. I don't know, what color would you say this is? Because, like, the other one's, like, the same red as Switch 1, but this, like, doesn't look the same red. Or the other color, like, the blue is, like, the same blue from Switch 1. So, you know, you can... There we go. Snap it in there. It sits in there. It doesn't fall out. That's cool. There we go. So, you know, there's probably going to be some weirdo who likes to play a Switch with these in at all times. I don't know. You know what? You do you. If you want to hold your Switch like this and barely be able to reach, go ahead. You can't even, like, it's not even designed to be used with any game but Mario Kart because you can't reach the ZL and ZR buttons. But anyways, yeah. And lastly, we have my micro SD express card. This is just a micro SD card. It's got a tiny Mario symbol on it. They did this shit already. They did this a lot with the Nintendo Switch. They, like, made a lot of SD cards. So, like, this is just an SD card. You know, it's got Mario on it. It says for Nintendo Switch 2. I think you can use it on anything, though, that supports this format of SD card. Temperature proof. X-ray proof. Wear out proof. Waterproof. Magnet proof. That's good. And drop proof. And they give you a perforation to cut it. We really do live in the future. Now, I'm gonna struggle to get this open, but so, you know, this is the Mario Kart bundle, so it does come with Mario Kart digitally. Digitally, though. I don't have scissors down here, so I'm gonna be a barbarian and rip it. I do want to try to stream Mario Kart. I was going to stream this week. It was going to happen. Then I ordered this. Then I knew I was going to have to mow. And then, like, you know, there's been one thing after another. Almost lost it. So, you know, it became kind of a whole thing. I don't know if I need to transfer my files over or not. I think it'll just transfer over with the system transfer that I'll do later. And I will record that if I'm not busy doing something else. Anyway, here we are about to put that in. There, it's slotted in. Close that, and it's ready. Now, oh my god, that has so much hair. What did I do? Why did I put it face down? Oh no, I ruined the screen for... Actually, I've got a microfiber cloth for my glasses in the other room. But apparently there's like a film on the screen that you're not supposed to peel off. It's a screen protector. They built in a screen protector. Supposedly removing it can actually damage the system. So don't remove anything from the screen. I've never really bought screen protectors for my game consoles anyway, because they typically have always caused problems with the game consoles I'd consider it for. Oh, I mean, I suppose I bought one for my PSP, but that was because I bought like a clear shell for my PSP, and that screen protector, you could like fold it up and down. I actually think it was just another case that they made translucent, so you know, you could use it with the screen thing down or up. But I used to play my PSP a lot in high school, actually. Mainly because I was playing a lot of Persona 3 at the time on it. So, because they had Persona 3 Portable. So I was playing through that, got like halfway through. I've like never done a full run of Persona 3. I've actually never done a full run of any Persona game on a technicality. Being that I did technically reach the ending of Persona 5, but I didn't do the third semester nonsense. Which is just like an extra arc that I think is inserted in a block of time that normally isn't occupied. Anyway, now to see if this thing will turn on at all. Oh shit, it actually did. So I guess we're doing this now. I'm actually, you know what? Really quick before we continue, I'll move my camera. I'm gonna move you guys, so bear with me here. I've also got to adjust the camera. Oh, I set the camera on the Switch a little bit. My bad. Oh, is that really as far? I can only go out to 1. I can't zoom all the way out. Alright. That's just my thing going. Don't worry about it. Alright, so I'm going to set up the kickstand. And we will kind of start working through the motions here of getting this thing set up, because I'm going to also set it up. This thing is massive. Like, I could barely fit this shit in the frame of my camera. There we go. I can set it to English UK or English US. Alright, I guess I'll go with US English. The Americas. End user license agreement. Yep, you can brick my console whenever you want. Let's connect to the internet. Just gonna take this off screen because it's gonna show my internet network. You know how it is. Can't really have that, can I? I don't know if you guys can hear this song, but it's great. Alright, it's going to download some update data now. My time zone. Chihuahua. Where is it? I use the Chicago time zone. With Nintendo Switch 2, you can play games wherever you want and however you want. You can stand at whatever angle you want. Just pull out the rear stand. You can now connect the AC adapter to the top of the system. That was something people were ecstatic about, because a lot of people hated that you couldn't charge it while playing tabletop. So it was very annoying, but now you can just like hook up your battery pack to the top. Detach the right Joy-Con too. Alright. Jeez. Got a good grip on him. Detach the left one. Alright. Press A. Do you want to connect to a TV and play on a larger screen? I will do that later because I have a lot of stuff to do, so... You can use the accessories that came with the system to hold the controller in multiple ways. When attached to a grip, a pair of Joy-Con 2 function as a single controller. To remove them, press the button on the back of the Joy-Con 2 controller and slide. You can also use the straps, one in each hand. To remove a strap release, use the release button. Choose a style you can change at any time. I got about a minute left on that update data. It is really surreal, like, playing the next Nintendo console, because the Switch 2 was, like, new. And it lived through my entire high school year. Oh, my camera is about to fucking fall off the ledge. Didn't realize that. Now the system will update. And we'll see what it does from there. I wonder how much battery life this thing has. They typically come at like 50% from what I've noticed. System update is complete. You can transfer data from your Nintendo Switch to this console. Oh, I guess we're doing this now. Hold up. Let me go get my Switch 1. My Switch 1 that I'm not going to be able to use, by the way, in handheld mode because it's been fucking broken. So, you know, I'm pretty excited to just, like, kind of get started with getting my stuff over so I can just play any game handheld because my handhelds are all fucked. Anyway, Switch 1 here. Got my Zelda Joy-Cons. I'll be doing this part off screen for the most part. Alright. Start the system transfer. Can I mouse? Oh, you can just use it like that. First, sign into a Nintendo network. Well, sorry guys. Gonna be taking that part off screen. Oh, you just sign in with a QR code. So, I'll be back. I'll have to cut so that way I can use my camera. Alright, I'm back. So now my system has been set up. Sorry I have to cut so much of this, but there's a lot of personal information. Move this system and the source system close to transfer data. Alright, you can see here. Connect an AC adapter to start downloading data. I'm gonna have to plug this thing in. I don't know if I can... Is there any way I can even get, like, the thing over here? Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I think it's actually wanting me to use the AC adapter, so I will be right back with that. Well, I'll be right here. I'm not going anywhere, but... This is super annoying, because it's like I don't have... My table is not over at the power receptacle area. I hope you guys are enjoying that Yu-Gi-Oh playmat over there. Move out of the way, 3DS charger. Your day has ended. There we go. Okay. So I plugged it in to the actual AC system, or to the actual AC adapter, and it now says this. So we're now recording on my dirty ass floor. Interact with each other. Done. Please do the following on the Switch system. Yeah. Whew, this is a super pain in the ass. Hold on, let me get the kickstand back up and everything. Go to home menu, select system settings, system, and system transfer. All right, let's try that. So I'm here. System settings. Where does it say to go? System. And down here above formatting options, it says transfer to Nintendo Switch 2. This system's data will be transferred to the Switch 2 system. You will need an internet connection and Nintendo account. Both are present. You'll need to update the system. Alright, give me a second. It's gonna be a long ass video. I'm gonna have to edit this together using I'm gonna have to edit it together using DaVinci Resolve. Alright, the system update is complete. System transfer. Yep. Some Nintendo Switch games may not be supported or fully compatible with the Switch 2. Nintendo Labo. At least one user has an exclamation mark on their user icon before starting a system transfer. We recommend that you open the user page for the effective user. It's still possible to perform a system transfer. The Nintendo accounts marked with this may cause errors. I don't know. Continue with the thing because that involves going through like 5 accounts. Other user data will be transferred. Email linked to their Nintendo account. Save data for the following software will be removed from this system and transferred to the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Pikmin 3 Deluxe Demo. Pokemon Legends Arceus. That scares me. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Mighty Gunvolt Burst Demo. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Mega Man 11 Demo version. Miitopia Demo. Pokemon Shield. Pokemon Violet. Kirby and the Forgotten Land Demo. ARMS Demo. Pokemon Sword. Yoshi's Crafted World Demo. Metroid Dread Demo. And Devious Dungeon Demo. Connect the AC adapter. God damn, y'all are some fucking greedy bitches wanting this AC adapter connection bullshit. It's very annoying. Almost destroyed a box with my fucking massive ass. Alright. Is this gonna work, or are you gonna detect that it's not the right fucking AC adapter and I'm gonna have to go get mine from my bedroom that I've been using as a phone charger for I don't even know how long. Past couple weeks, actually, because that's what I'm gonna do with it. It's just gonna be relegated to be my phone charger from now on. Mainly because it's long and has a decent power. All of my other long USB cables have issues charging my phone because they don't transfer at a very good... They don't have a very good power transfer rate. Alright. No fucking way. Okay, I have to show you guys how bullshit this is. It wasn't letting me connect like any power charger, right? It was like, connect an AC adapter. I plugged the AC adapter in, was gonna go and plug the AC adapter into the power strip. My AC adapter ain't even plugged in. It just wanted to know that I still had the original AC adapter. Apparently. Alright, download my games. On the Switch 1 it says... On the Switch 1 it says... Sending to Switch 2. Over here it says receive it, downloading data. This might be a minute, so... Is that a fly that just flew past the screen? I don't even know if that was like real or not. Anyways, I'm gonna pause the recording and we'll be back when it's like ready, because it says 17 minutes left, 18 minutes left. Yeah, I'm not sitting here with my camera open for that long. I don't even have that many minutes of recording time. So, yeah, I'll be back. Alright, we're back. We just got under 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes left. I just scrolled around on Twitter until then. By the way, I'm back on Twitter. I'm not sure if everybody saw that announcement, but I am back on Twitter officially. I decided to make the decision to use both Blue Sky and Twitter at the same time for promoting the account. I felt like it provided a much broader reach to people who use both platforms. I just did a box with my hand again. But, yeah, I'm on both platforms again. Come on. There we go. I don't know how much more there is to this process. I hope it's not like a super duper long process. System is about to restart. Okay. Switch 1 still says it's sending save data. Oh, it's because it's not done yet. Just had to restart to reinitialize data, I guess. My whole camera is telling me that, like, the level on my camera is just saying... It's just like, it's not level. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm trying to capture the best thing. Data has been sent. Please wait until the process is complete on the Switch 2. Setting the system up. It is really weird, like, documenting this process because, like, one, I only have, like, 11 more minutes of footage left, so I'm really hoping it's not much longer for this part. Because I have 11 more minutes of footage that I can record from my cellular phone. Then I'll have to carry that footage around with me until I can get on my computer later, and then push the footage there, and then we can start the recording process from there. I probably won't record me setting up, like, my own personal system settings and stuff. But, yeah. By the way, in case you were wondering, I actually apparently have one of these wheels. This is what the Switch 2 wheel is based on. It's this thing. It's just it was a wheel for the Wii remote. Software will be downloaded later. So it can read the other SD card, you fucking liar. Oh well, this is probably just a necessary step. Hold on, I gotta switch SD cards real quick. And make sure I don't lose this one like the carpet or something. I say as I'm next to a perfectly good TV stand. Micro SD card has been inserted. Start copying my screenshots. I have a lot of those. 300? I guess it's using all that empty space. If you're curious as to what I'll be doing with the Switch 2, I do plan to buy Welcome Tour once I have money again. And I'll do a full video on that. I'm not sure if I'll show everything in Welcome Tour, but it's nice. A nice little thing. We're copied to system memory. Now I will reinsert my Super Mario Soup card. Right as soon as I put my fucking SanDisk Extreme plus 120 gig. It would have been funny if it just told me this SD card is already an Express SD card. Would you like to continue with the transfer or use this one? MicroSD Express has been inserted. Watch it just do a flashbang of one frame from every video. every 10 frames of video in every screenshot. That's still really fucking funny, by the way, that I didn't have to plug my Switch actually in. It just wanted to feel. Restart system. System transfer is complete. The theme color from the source system will be carried over. So my system is going to start on dark, because that was what I had it set up as in my other system. Anyways, with that done, I'll unplug the AC adapter and we'll go back to the table for the remainder of this segment. Almost just shocked myself, by the way, because I had my finger right on the metal prongs as I was trying to plug it in. No live footage of my 5th electrocution. Alright, we're back. Over here, I don't even think I cut the footage, but back at the table, and I can now hit home. Home. Oh my god, it's gonna try to download everything really fast. So I guess we're here, and I noticed there's like a communications option down on the bar. So there's the Switch Online thing. Yeah, I know it's mostly the same, except now they've got this like new sort of rainbow icon. Game chat. I'm not going to be doing that. We got news, eShop, album, game share, controllers. How to use mouse controls. You can use the mouse controls in the software. Cool. It'd be really cool if they'd let you plug in your own mouse, but I know they're not going to because proprietary. How to use the GL and GR buttons. Joy-Con 2 charging grip and Switch 2 Pro controller have GL GR buttons. You can map to any button of your choice. Hold home and you can set it up. Oh wait, what was that? I didn't see that part. After creating mapping for a game, those settings will be linked to the active user next time they play that game. Oh, so it's on a game-by-game basis. That's really good. That's one thing that actually kind of sucks about other systems, is it doesn't work. But yeah, we have the new virtual game cards thing. Given my opinions on that. But yeah, that's the full setup of the Switch 2. I don't really think there's much else to do, but I'm just about out of footage time. So thank you all so much for watching. Not just this video, but in general. This marks a milestone for the channel. I'm really looking forward to providing new content for you guys from the Switch 2. But for the rest of this week, I'm probably just going to focus on enjoying my system for my own personal benefit. And, yeah. So thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, I appreciate it, but I can't guarantee how many more tech unboxings I'll do. This was expensive. I'll give a more in-depth review about the Switch 2 once I've had time to work with it. And, yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, I guess. Bye. Oh, and see you guys when I play Mario Kart. Actually, can I show myself redeeming? I don't have time, actually. Anyways, bye.